This episode of Distraction is sponsored by Landmark College. Try their free comparison tool for colleges with learning disability support at lcdistraction.org. Landmark College. Learn your way. Succeed uniquely. Hello, this is Dr. Ned Hallowell, and welcome to Distraction. Today we have a mini episode, one of my favorite kind, because it involves you. We love it when we get listener email. Please send us your emails. We really love to get them, and it is a way of involving you directly in the podcast community, which we are building. I don't know why I'm repeating things in threes. It must be some form of early dementia. Sarah just told me that we hit 2 million downloads, and that's really exciting. We do have a growing community, and that's been our goal from the very start, to build connection and to build goodwill, to build networks of warmth and community and fun and laughter and play and all those things that the world needs more of, and it's not that easy to build. It really isn't. I've learned over the years, love is a tough sell. It really is. Rage, hatred, and resentment are much easier to sell. But with this podcast, we have built this community. Podcast by podcast and email by email and person by person. So continue to support us, please. And one way to do that is by sending us emails. connect@distractionpodcast.com. All right. From a listener. Hi, listener, said listener begins. I have benefited enormously from your talks, books, and podcasts. Thank you very much. But came to them late on in the last 3 years through a relative who attends your clinic. As the mother of a young man of 24 years who was diagnosed with ADD aged 11 and reluctantly took Ritalin until 18, I have tried to assist my son's happiness to achieve his goals using your techniques, but they seem to be more geared for people who accept the diagnosis and the impacts of ADD. My son resents the mention of ADD, even though it helped him in sports. He will not try to understand his condition through education, and while he appreciates some of the techniques to facilitate a smoother life, like lists and plans, he cannot or will not maintain them independently. Nagging works, but it is exceedingly stressful and can be confrontational and unhealthy for both of us, especially if we are not in top form. Wonderfully, he has landed a reasonable job in architecture, but following his instincts to pursue fun with friends, he is again on a downward spiral of going out until late and getting tired, which is when everything goes to pot. This cycle of behavior is, as you've called it, predictable, with detrimental consequences to one of his major goals of gaining his degree. Any suggestions, please? Well, you've hung in there for a long time. He's 24 years old, and honestly, he's doing well. The main suggestion is to keep hanging in there. I like what you said. Nagging works, but is exceedingly stressful. And yes, it is exceedingly stressful for both of you. So, if you could hand off the nagging, reminding function to a coach, that would be great. Because a coach basically is what you do minus the nag factor. So if he would accept a coach, if he would accept having someone fill in that gap of what he can't really do, the so-called executive function just does not come naturally to those of us who have this condition. And a coach can fill that in without all the baggage that comes from a parent, a mother, then a coach can work wonders. A coach can really work wonders. And, he's at an age where, he's old enough and mature enough to be able to accept that. It's very difficult at the age of 24 to establish independence and to do all the things you need to do in terms of maintaining independence if you have ADHD. But a coach can jump in, and it's probably time for you to relinquish your role as the resident nag. But I would try to find for him a coach. Coaches don't have to be very expensive, but they're worth their weight in gold. And of course, if he is willing to revisit the issue of medication, if you can find a medication that works, medication also can make a huge difference. You say he took it until he was 18. Might be time to revisit that if he wants to take another look at it. When the meds work, and my definition of work is produce target symptom improvement, focus being at the top of the list, with no side effects other than appetite suppression without weight loss. No side effects at all, doesn't take away anything positive. Then the medications can be, a real godsend. And you can get that desired result about 80% of the time. So that combination of coaching and medication, if he's willing to reconsider, can make a big difference. Don't nag him about it. Offer it. The right kind of support system makes a tremendous difference. The fact that he's found a place that he likes in architecture is also bodes very, very well. Staying out late, I'd almost be concerned if he weren't staying out late sometime, but at 24, young man, but, that's something to be concerned about. I wouldn't come at him too hard on that. It wasn't clear from your note whether he's living at home or living on his own. Each has its advantages and disadvantages. But I guess to bring it to a close, I would urge for a coach and a reconsideration of medication and an attempt on your part with him to celebrate the upside, celebrate the gains, celebrate who he is, and try to accentuate the positive, as the song says, accentuate the positive. Because a lot of time in the world of ADD, there's too much time spent on the negative, and that becomes kind of a problem in its own right. Thank you so much for emailing us. Thank you so much for asking the question and giving me the chance to offer what I've got. As always, please reach out to us with your questions and show ideas by calling 844-55-CONNECT or by sending an email to connect@distractionpodcast.com. Today's episode of Distraction was recorded and edited by the dapper Pat Keogh and produced by the effervescent, fresh from Hawaii, Sarah Curtin.